Lokati here. We are going to go over Sword Crafting 101. Stage 1, get good bases. We want T1 elemental affix bases. Now, there were no Corsair sword bases for sale. The Eternal Sword, in my opinion, is the next best sword on that list with 475 flat accuracy rating, which outdoes 40% global accuracy rating on the average, but it only has a 1.5 attack speed instead of a 1.55. So, I think the Corsair sword is probably better overall, but we're going to craft on these. Step 1, base. Step 2, essence. Step 3, slam. And we're just looking for cold damage. So we need a T1 cold. That's not a T1 cold damage. And just a tip when you're crafting these swords, I look at the critical strike chance and the elemental damage, not at the affixes down below. It's just easier to read. So craft, slam, craft, so exciting. So that is just a little T6. We want that cold number to be in like the 150s. That is gonna be a T1 affix on that. And so we just slam away. And sometimes you can get this in 1, sometimes you can get this in 4. Sometimes you can get this in 400. One shall never know how to RNG this. That's T4 cold damage. That's not going to cut it. That's a T2 cold. We'll just leave that one for right now. Come over here. Hit our second one. The good news is these bad boys are cheap, cheap, cheap. I will spend 3 divs on some more deafening essences here. And we'll continue with the slams. T2 cold again. We'll let the T2 cold fly for now. Don't click too fast. Be patient. It will come. Don't want to click past the T1 cold. I have done it. It sucks. T2 cold. We've got triple T2 cold. Alright. Normally we would want to roll these past T2, but we'll go ahead and pretend like those are T1s. Really good basis to work with here. Nothing has anything special on it, and nothing is completely bricked. This one is. I lied. This one has 3 suffixes. The only way we can fix this is with an annul. And so when this happens, you have to grab an annul and you have to pray, not a prefix. That was a prefix. And when that happens, your only option is back to the essence drawing board. So we grab our essences again and we start a slamming. There is our T1 cold. Get over there, put those back in the bank so we don't do anything stupid. Put those annuls back in the bank so we don't do anything stupid. Now we have T1 cold, T2 cold, T2 cold. Great basis to start crafting on. We've got open suffixes on all of them. And so the first thing we're going to do is come onto our bench and we're going to craft prefixes. Cannot be changed. And I have not done the coward's trial yet. For the love of God. Alright, after a very minor technical difficulty, we are ready to craft on these swords. First thing you're going to craft on these swords is prefixes cannot be changed. This is a 2-div craft. This is the bulk of your crafting cost, and using this suffix to help control how you craft. Prefixes cannot be changed allows you to craft further on these swords without risking the elemental damage that you have already slammed into the sword. Now, we really need attack speeds on this sword. The best way to get the attack speed on this sword is with your harvest craft. Now, if it does not have attack speed already, you can use add a new speed modifier to guarantee that it doesn't brick on your first craft. But this is expensive. We don't do this. We just reforge speed and risk the brick. So you're going to hit reforge speed, and we got a phenomenal sword right there. T2 attack speed, good roll. Dex, not ideal, but it has an open suffix for a craft. Couldn't ask for anything better. Easy peasy. Reforge speed, 20% attack speed, 1 mana per enemy killed. That is a T3 attack speed, also a great option here with an open suffix on the craft. And last one here, we reforge speed, and we got a T4 attack speed. Not ideal, but still a very good serviceable sword with an open suffix on there to craft. 3 phenomenal swords. What a swing. Come in, we craft strength and int plus crit. 23, 24 is good enough for me. Strength and int plus crit, go. 20, 25. Not ideal rolls. We'll take it. We can reroll that if we need to. And last but not least, our lone man, 24, 22. We got an empty dex node here. We got an empty, or we got a filled dex node here, filled mana node here. But we got an empty node here. And realistically, the only thing we have left to do with this is just slam an Exalt in it. We're praying for global crit strike multi, folks. Boom. Low roll, but good sword. Very nice. Easy, quick crafts. You can do more with this. For example, if you wanted to risk it all, we can take this sword right here. You can come and slam this into our emulator. And this is what we would do if we wanted to risk making a better sword. So the first thing we do is we import an item. So the first thing we do is we take our sword that we want to improve on, and what we would do if we're at this point is we have two options. Our first option is just to hit it with an annul, and then we can get that dex off of there, and then maybe exalt something on. Our second option is to go for big money with a Veiled Chaos Orb. So we're going to go for big money with a Veiled Chaos Orb, but we still want to cover our prefixes. So we do need to make sure that we craft prefixes cannot be changed. And we are praying that that dex go bye-bye. And dex did not go bye-bye. So this item is not going to be good enough for us. 14% attack speed is okay. This big crit with strength and int is okay. But now we're at the point where we cannot do anything with this because it doesn't have attack speed on it. Now, technically speaking, because we got this big crit with attack speed, we could actually just attack speed this. Like hard craft on attack speed. And get a 20% attack speed. And we have a better sword than we would have had, but it could be better. And so if we want to make this better, then we would come back and prefixes cannot be changed. And we would craft on prefixes cannot be changed. And we would go back to the basis where we are at reforging speed. And we would go again, prefixes cannot be changed, reforge speed, prefixes cannot be changed, reforge speed, 22% speed. But then we're blocked with suffixes again. And so our only choice is to annul. We annul off a suffix, that's good. The prefixes cannot be changed, and we Veiled Orb this again, and we try to grab strength. We grabbed prefixes cannot be changed, which is the second best option. And so now we unveil. And we get a 40% crit strike multiplier. And a rare and unique. And this is a good one. So this sword became really good via the Veiled Chaos Orbs. But this is just more gamble, more currency. Getting an attack speed with a multiplier on it is very good. Again, the strength needs to go away. We can risk the biscuit again and try to hit the strength. We hit the attack speed. Since we hit the attack speed, we can still save this by just hard crafting on attack speed. And that saves the sword and still makes it good. Or we can go back over and start over again protecting the prefixes and slamming in better suffixes with Veiled Orbs or crafted suffixes. So this is crafting 101 for your swords. We now have 3 reasonably good swords for sale. As a final touch on this, we are going to take advantage of King's March, which is our new way to craft on weapons. Welcome to the Forge. And we're going to come in here and we're going to grab a lightning damage. There's 55 bound runes. So we've got 3 swords. We need 165 bound runes. So we want bound runes. Look at divine orbs. 1 divine orb for 165 bound runes. Perfect. We now have 3 absolutely phenomenal swords.
Use that to make some legends.
Now, this sword is good. This sword is good. This sword is the best one of the bunch, maybe. This one has the T1 cold. T1 cold, T2 attack speed is really good. Now, you can divine this if you want to get better rolls on the ranges. We are at a low roll on the fire, a low roll on the cold, and a low roll on the lightning. So if you wanted to make this sword a little bit better, we could absolutely do that. For a valuation on this sword is valued at approximately 15 divine on the low end. And unfortunately, there is nothing to compare that has accuracy, and accuracy is critical. there is probably nothing to compare that has strength and int and accuracy. So I would say this one being an 827 LED DPS, this one is 795, this one is 800. I would put this one at a 25 div sword and both of these at 20 div swords. And our total investment on this crafting is 10, 15. Very, very good profitability. Well, that is everything on the crafting the sword video. If you have any questions, leave some comments down below. Come by Twitch and message me. If you think I did something wrong, feel free to tell me how to do it better. Thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the video. As always, come by Twitch if you have any questions, or check out this video that YouTube thinks you like, or check out our latest upload over there. Peace.